Well, hello there, and welcome to McKee Field at Hayden Park. Somehow it turned out to be a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports, and we are gearing up for Game 3 in the series between the Miami RedHawks and the Akron Zips. Let's go ahead and take you through the Zips starting lineup. They come in at 17-29, 9-17 in conference play. Leading off in play in center field will be Ian Pennington. Jack Firestone will be patrolling right field. He's batting in the 2-hole. Jack Poist will be batting in the 3-hole. He's the designated hitter today. Nick Arrivo will be cleaning up. He's playing third. Sammy Seeker out in left field. He's batting fifth. Max Bowman will be in the 6-hole. He's playing first base. Braden Cavey will be the second baseman today. He's in seventh. Andrew Horvath will be behind the dish. He's batting eighth. Ken O'Hara will be anchoring the lineup. He's the shortstop today for the Zips. Pitching for Miami here in Game 3 will be Hudson Leach. This will be his second start of the season. He's got a 3.86 ERA and a 0-1 win-loss. He struck out 48 batters and has had 14 walks and 30 in the third innings pitch. A lot of scouts here today to see the electric arm of Hudson Leach, and we'll be in for a treat. The RedHawks looking to sweep the Zips here in Game 3, and they're still keeping some conference hopes alive. Currently sitting 6th in the conference. And we'll go next week to play Ball State, who is always at the top of the Mid-American Conference. So still a tough 3-game series left on the schedule. Miami in their red uniforms, white bottoms, the Zips, and they're all grays. First pitch is in there for a called strike, and that was at 1:04 p.m. Ian Pennington falls behind 0-1. Leach, 89 on the 0-1. He was 92 on that first pitch that was called a strike. Pennington on the season is batting .253. This will be his 43rd start, 41 hits and 162 at-bats. And Leach is going to look to put him away to begin the ball game. Evan Applewick is moving over to the right side of the infield, and Pennington goes down on strikes. Leach, a quick strikeout. Let's take you through the defensive alignment for the RedHawks. Out in the outfield will be Brian Zapp, Zach McDonald, and Nate Stone, who's getting the start out in right field over Benji Brokmond. On the left side of the infield is Evan Applewick and Cooper Weiss. On the right side, Dylan Baker, Rylan Zaborowski, and David Novak is in the battery for the third start this series, 27-inning catcher. So stepping in is Jack Firestone. Firestone, a .247 hitter. Leads the team in home runs, 15 of them. Called strike. Breaking ball in at 85 miles an hour. And we mentioned it. A lot of scouts in attendance today. In fact, probably half of the people here at McKee Field at Hayden Park are here to scout Hudson Leach. The 1-2. Big breaking ball. Can't get it to fall back down to earth. And the count is evened up at 2-2. And just as they did with the last batter, Evan Applewick flips over to the right side of the infield with 2 strikes. And back-to-back strikeouts to begin today's ball game.
Now the designated hitter,
so now we'll see another left-hander. It's Jack Poist. Poist, a .319 hitter. Leads the team in hits, batting average. Near the top of the team lead in RBIs. Takes the first pitch for a called strike, 93 on the gun from Leach. Leach, one of the few RedHawks who are looking to parlay his collegiate career with a professional career. Rylan Zaborowski looking to get drafted as well. Tyler Chadwick, who hasn't had the best season this spring, was drafted last season by the Cincinnati Reds. Obviously did not go on to play pro ball. 2-1's the count to Poist. The kick and deal. Weekly hit over to Dylan Baker. Puts the glove on it and flips it over to Rylan Zaborowski. It's a 4-3 put out. Breezy top of the first inning. We head to the bottom here on Love and Honor Live.
In the top of the first inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. The first inning is the left fielder, number 6, Brian Zapp.
Bottom of the first here in Oxford, Ohio. And Brian Zapp is due to lead off for the RedHawks. We'll take you through their lineup after Brian Zapp. At-bat is concluded. Hi, I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live. Joe Roth taking the rubber for the Akron Zips. Second time we've seen Roth this series as Zapp fouls one straight back. Casey McAllister producing today's game. Best producer in the business. It's an 0-1 count here to Zapp. Roth rides one in on the left-handed hitter, and it's a leadoff base runner. So let's take you through that Miami RedHawks starting lineup. You just saw Zapp. Batting in the 2-hole will be Cooper Weiss. Rylan Zaborowski will be the first baseman. He's batting third. David Novak cleaning up. Dylan Baker in the 5-hole. Evan Applewick batting 6. Nate Stone getting the start today. He's in the 7 slot. Zach McDonald and Tommy Harrison rounding out that order. Weiss steps in. First pitch in there for a called strike. 80 on the gun. Weiss leads the team in hitting, 309. And he tries to lay down the bunt. Arroyo in, throws it across the diamond, and gets Weiss out at first. Zapp moves up to second. A lot of speed out there at second base, and Zaborowski will step up to the plate with the runner in scoring position.
Miami's first baseman, number 15, Rylan Zaborowski.
It wasn't a sacrifice bunt, an intent from Cooper Weiss, but that is what it'll go as in the score sheet. Weiss was certainly trying to get a base hit, try to catch Arroyo sleeping. Arroyo does a nice job. Comes up and makes the play. First pitch in there for a called strike on Zaborowski. Behind home plate is Jeff Spisak. Scott Inman is the first base umpire. Craig McCarty down the third base line. A liner right out to center field, and this will fall in front of Pennington. Nice deke by the center fielder that it froze Brian Zapp out there, and he couldn't come around and score. So put runners on the corners for David Novak.
Catcher, number 29, David Novak.
mentioned that deke. You see outfielders do this more often than not on a ball on the line. They show their glove because Brian Zapp has a base runner out at second base. He's going off the way that the outfielders react to the ball. So when Pennington looks like he's going to come in and make the play, Zapp has to stay put to avoid getting off the bag too far in case Pennington does come in and make the play. So nice job by Pennington freezing Zapp, and there's runners on the corner, and now a ground ball from David Novak will get Joe Roth and the Akron Zips out of trouble here in the bottom half of the first inning, and Novak rips one foul. Novak, a .275 hitter. 25 RBIs on the ledger. Roth, 89 on the gun. Can't put away Novak. They've been having a decent season compared to program standards, as Roth gets Novak down swinging, chasing the heater way out of the zone. And there's two away. Big strikeout for Roth. And we'll see Dylan Baker. .70 degrees here in the first inning. A little bit of wind blowing out to center field. Pitch misses to Dylan Baker on the outside. It's 1-0. Baker, a .294 hitter. The starting second baseman today stands in the right-handed batter's box. Barrel pointed down at the turf as he rests the bat on his right shoulder. Fouls one over the first base dugout.
Keep working, kid. Keep working, kid.
Baker skies one into shallow center field. Cavey back being caught off by Pennington, who comes in, catches it on the run for the third and final out. So Miami leaves two stranded. They get one hit in the bottom half of the first inning, but nothing to show for it. We head to the second here at McKee Field. Hudson Leach ready to rock here in the top half of the second inning. He'll face off against Nick Arrivo, Sammy Seeker, and Max Bowman. Hudson Leach with his second start of the season, and we mentioned he's thrown 38 and a third innings coming into today. His last start was last week against Central Michigan. He went 2 innings, struck out 2, gave up 1 earned run. His longest outing of the season came in the season's debut against Georgia Tech. Went 6 innings strong, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 8 all the way back in the middle of February. Seems so long ago. And Leach has a 4-pitch walk to begin the top half of the second. So he was ready to go, but couldn't find the strike zone, and we'll see Sammy Seeker.
Sam Seeker.
Seeker, a 261 hitter.
That's it, Sam.
Over at first base, Nick Arrivo has a bit of speed, 12 stolen bases, third on the team in that. Breaking ball rides in on Seeker, and it's 6 balls to begin the top half of the second inning. Leach, a lot of velocity. Has had a couple spurts where he struggled with command. Most notably, about a month ago against Bowling Green. He went 1 in the 3rd innings, walked 4, allowed 2 earned runs. Hit hard out to Dylan Baker. That gets through the infield. Rounding second, heading for third is Arrivo. Dylan Baker had a chance to make the play, but that was hit on a line. Quickly snuck through the infield. He did get a piece of leather on the baseball.
First baseman, number 6.
But it's a base hit all the same, and there's runners on the corner. And Max Bowman. And a wild pitch will go to the backstop, which will move Sammy Seeker up to second. So runners in scoring position, nobody away, and now Hudson Leach is going to have to walk the tightrope to get out of trouble. Two and 0, and let's quickly recap how Hudson Leach has approached this second inning. 4-pitch walk, then falls behind 2-0 to Sammy Seeker. Seeker then hits a frozen rope, and 1 hop through the infield. And now he's fallen behind Max Bowman. Leach had a breezy top of the first, struck out 2 batters. Quick 1, 2, 3. He's going to need a couple of strikeouts here if he's going to want to prevent the Zips from taking an early lead. Called strike. Nice comeback there from Leach. And gets a swinging strike. So after falling behind 2-0, comes back to make it 2-2. And see if Hudson Leach can put down Max Bowman on strikes. The kick and deal is that big curveball that gets away into the backstop. And that'll be a run. Arrivo scampers home. Sammy Seeker moves up to third. And the wild pitch puts the Zips on top here early. Isn't the first time that we saw Hudson Leach be unable to get on top of that breaking ball, and he does it again. Another wild pitch, another run for Akron. And Hudson cannot find the grip on that slider.
The next batter, second baseman,
Couldn't get on top of it both times. And it's 2-0, and you look up at the scoreboard, there's still a goose egg underneath the outs. Braden Cavey steps in. We'll see if Leach approaches Cavey any differently. A lot of eyes on Leach. Trying to show his best stuff. Can run that fastball up into the mid-90s. And when I talked with Coach Hayden before the season started about Leach, he said one of the core things that makes him such a tough pitcher to face is he just makes you feel uncomfortable at the plate. A mid-80s breaking pitch Mid-90s fastball. A bit wild at times, which never makes you feel easy in the batter's box. But it's a 4-pitch walk to Braden Cavey.
Akron's catcher, number 35, Andrew Horvath.
So Horvath steps in, runners on first and second, nobody away. Kate O'Hara in the on-deck circle, then back to the top of the order after that. Leach comes set. Showing bunt is Horvath, and Leach just can't find the strike zone. We'll see if Horvath is actually sacrificing himself or if he's just trying to break Leach's concentration. Called strike in there. 92 right down the middle. It hasn't been the fastball that has been giving Leach troubles. It's been the other pitches in his repertoire. It is simply miraculous that the sun is shining right now. We got here early. This game was moved up to 11 a.m., and there's that slider that goes to the backstop again. Third wild pitch of the inning. And the pitch is just slipping out of Hudson Leach's palm. Infield's going to come in. The 3-1 to Horvath, up and in. Fourth walk of the inning, loads the bases for the 9-hole. The pesky hitter in the form of Kate O'Hara. Arm is getting loose in the bullpen. It's a right-hander. The most walks that Hudson Leach has allowed in an outing this season is 4. He's had 4 just here in the top half of the second inning.
My son.
2-0. And besides the talk on the mound with the pitching coach, I'm surprised no one's gone out there and talked to Leach, whether it be David Novak, Cooper Weiss. Sometimes a shortstop comes in and just says, hey, take a deep breath. You've got this. Get back on top. Let's throw a couple strikes. Instead, Leach is out on an island all by himself. And he walks in a run. And that's going to be it for Hudson Leach. Fifth walk of the inning. It's a 3-0 ball game. We'll have a new arm as we step aside. We'll tell you about him when we come back. You're watching Love and Honor Live. Welcome back. Top of the second inning. Bases are loaded. Zach Maxey is towing the rubber for the RedHawks, coming in relief of Hudson Leach. Leach went just 1 inning. He's on the hook for 3 more runs. He only allowed 1 hit. It was the walks. 5 walks in this second inning alone. And you could tell something was off. Not a whole lot of competitive pitches there, but we're back at the top of the order. Ian Pennington. Zach Maxey this season, a 7.87 ERA. 42 1/3 innings pitched. He has struck out 48. This is going to be popped into shallow left center field. Going to be a tough play. That'll fall. A base hit will score 1 run in the form of Braden Cavey. And don't look now, but Akron is up 4-0. Horvath moves up to third. Hara up to second. Pennington at first. And now it's Jack Firestone. And Firestone leads the team in RBIs. 36 of them to be exact. RBI number 24 on the season for Ian Pennington. Swinging strike, and Maxey's out in front of the left-handed swinging Firestone. It's 0-2. Nothing Maxey would love more than a ground ball right towards Dylan Baker. Instead, it's that changeup working away from Firestone that punches him out. And there's 1 away.
Designated hitter, Jack Boyce.
So now the 9th batter in the inning, Jack Boyce, steps in. Base is still loaded. Called strike on the inside. Nine batters have come to the plate this inning. All right. Rather, Poist is the 9th batter. The first 7 all reached safely. The 1-1. So Maxey falls behind. I mentioned Poist leads the team in batting average. And Maxey comes back and evens the count up at 2s. Applewick over at third. Baker and Weiss up the middle. Maxey looking to elicit a ground ball and or punch out Jack Poist.
Jack, hold on.
And you're starting to see some of the scouts that came here today to watch Hudson Leach leave the ballpark as his day is finished. And Miami walks another run in. Horvath
Number 45.
touches home.
Third baseman, Nick Arrivo.
5-0 Akron. And Nick Arrivo, who got the inning going, comes back up again. Base is still loaded, 1 away. Maxey kicks, deals. Changeup, finds the strike zone, and it's always good when you start a batter off with a changeup. You can come back with pretty much anything. Found. You got to have a lot of confidence in the changeup to throw it as the first pitch. And think about the name of the pitch. What are you changing up off of? Leading off a batter, but it is a great pitch to change up velocities. Grounded over to Cooper Weiss in the hole. He doesn't field it cleanly. Goes into the outfield, rounding third, heading for home. is Pennington. He'll score 2 runs, played it here. And the tag over at third base is not in time. They say that Poist stayed on the bag. So a tough play in the 6-hole for Cooper Weiss. Couldn't come up with it. Ian Pennington, the speedy Ian Pennington, never stopped, hustling around third base, heading home. The cut to home, then relayed over to third, and Applewhite couldn't get the tag on Poist in time. 6-0 now. Runners in scoring position. The infield is in. There's 1 away.
The batter is number 9, Sam Seeger.
So they do give a hit to Arroyo. Poist is at third. Arroyo out at second. It's a 2-0 count to Sammy Seeker. Check swing. He did come around, turned his hips, got the barrel to cross home plate. Three and one's the count. Middle of the field is wide open with the infield in. Cooper Weiss playing pushed over towards the third base line, almost playing in the 6-hole. Dylan Baker pretty much playing straight up from where he normally would be, just in, as this is skied in the infield. Dylan Baker's calling for it, takes a few steps back, shields the sun with his glove, and has the second out.
Number 6, first baseman Max Bowman.
So now we'll see Max Bowman. Bowman walked, came around and scored just in this inning. 12th batter to come to the plate. Check swing, fouled straight back, got a piece of it. Maxey takes a breath, kicks, deals, can't get on top of it. Maxey, when he comes stands tall on that rubber. He's a junior from Avon, Ohio. St. Ed's graduate, 6'3". And he evens the count up at 2s. The 2-2. Chopped down the third base line, but foul. And we'll do it again. Surprised with the crowd we got today here at McKee Field, just based on the weather we had this morning. Heck, I'm surprised that the sun is even shining. When we drove out here, it was pouring rain. As this is chopped foul again. Absolutely raining cats and dogs, and we didn't think they were going to get this game in. They pushed it up to find the window. It was originally slated for 1 p.m. They pushed it up to 11 a.m. And then with the rain, they said, all right, let's play at 1. And we checked the forecast. It looked like it was going to storm all day. Then something changed, and now the sun is shining. Maxey strikes out Max Bowman, but the Zips played 7 runs here in the top half of the second inning. We'll be right back.
7 runs on 3 hits, no errors. Applewick.
Two up for the RedHawks here in the bottom of the second inning is Evan Applewick, Nate Stone, and Zach McDonald. Joe Roth still on the rubber for the Zips, and got a little bit of breathing room there as Akron put up a Mickey Mantle. 7 runs in the top half of the second inning. First pitch to Evan Applewick is in there for a called strike, working on the outside. Final line on Hudson Leach is 1 inning pitched, 6 earned runs, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. Gave up 1 hit. Currently in line for the loss. We got a lot of ball game left. Roth ahead of Evan Applewick, who has homered in this series. Called strike 3. Nice job by Roth coming back out there after his team put up a big number and just throwing strikes. When you got a big lead, the quickest way to let somebody back in is just throwing a lot of balls, walking a lot of guys, making mistakes. And Roth came back here and got out the first batter he faced in the bottom half of the second inning. So now Nate Stone steps in. It's an 0-1 count to the left-handed hitter. Stone, a redshirt junior from Granville, Ohio. Pinch hit on Friday afternoon. Came up with a big hit and an RBI. This is skied in the infield. Bowman being called off by Kid O'Hara, who is a shortstop who basically catches that off of the turf. But he moved all the way from shortstop over to the right side of the infield and gets the second out. 2 away for Zach McDonald. And Roth using that breaking ball, that slider, to get ahead in the count. McDonald, a 5-tool player. Great glove, a lot of power, a lot of speed. At times has trouble with being put away on strikes, but he singles one through the left side of the infield. Ripped it through the 6-hole.
Hitter, number 25, Tommy Harrison.
And it's the second hit of the ball game for the RedHawks. Tommy Harrison, true freshman, starting here, anchoring the lineup. Has had a hit in each of his last 3 starts as he fouls home straight back. He's batting .219 on the season. Went 2 for 4 against Southern Indiana earlier this week. He awaits the 0-1 from Roth as Roth misses on the outside. McDonald dancing around over there at first base as Harrison's out in front of that 1-1 offering from Roth. It's 1-2. McDonald moving on the 2-2. The throw down to second base, not in time. A steal of second for McDonald. his 6th stolen base of the season. And the Hawks have a runner in scoring position with 2 away. Can start chipping away at that 7-run deficit. Right here and now, the payoff pitch to Harrison is popped in foul territory. Arroyo working over towards Miami's dugout. And that hits off the top of the dugout. We'll do it again. It's days like today where Miami is thanking their lucky stars that they have turf, as any grass field, even if you had the tarp on, would probably be flooded based on the weather we had last night. And that's ball 4 to Tommy Harrison. So back to the top of the order, it's Brian Zapp. Zapp was hit by a pitch his first time around. An on-base percentage of .467. Left-hander crouches in the box. Checking on McDonald out there at second base. Keeping close tabs, and it's the point of the game where you look at the scoreboard and, yeah, you want to keep tabs on base runners. You don't want them just running around on you, but you focus at the task at hand, and the task at hand for Roth is Brian Zapp. And now Horvath is going to go out there and talk to Roth. So Roth, after retiring Applewick and Stone consecutively to begin the inning, a single and a walk, has runners on first and second, and Miami is at the top of their order. McDonald, a speedy runner out at second. Tommy Harrison, not so much at first. And Zapp is perhaps the quickest base runner on the team. 2-0. Called strike, comes back with an 89-mile-per-hour fastball on the inside corner. Roth has an effortless delivery. Just a slight kick as this hits it off the end of the bat for Brian Zapp. The flip from Bowman to Roth, who is playing first, steps on the cushion. And that's the third out here in the bottom half of the second. We head to the third on Love and Honor Live, still 7-0. I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. 7-0 our score. It's the top of the third inning here at Oxford. Oh, I cannot believe the day that this has turned into. 7-8-9 due up for the Zips here in the third inning. Braden Cavey steps in. Cavey walked, came around and scored his first time. Out to left center field. Brian Zapp working into the gap. Makes the catch on the run, and there's one away.
Number 35, catcher Andrew Horvath.
This will be the final edition of Love and Honor Live this spring. Hope to come back next fall. Do some more Miami athletics. Every weekend spent out here in Old Oxford, Ohio. Myself, the best producer in the nation, Casey McAllister, as this is skied in the infield. Dylan Baker looking for Cooper Weiss to make the play. Weiss calls it and catches it. And it's a quick 1-2. Cato Hara steps in. He walked, came around, and scored. And that was a running theme for the bottom half of the Zips lineup. Kaido awaits the first pitch from Maxey. Maxey hasn't seen too many appearances out of the bullpen this year. I mentioned this is his 12th appearance on the season. He started 9 games. So this is only his third time coming out of the pen. And he's one strike away from a breezy top half of the third. Bounces it well in front of the plate. Hara never even thought twice about it. Significant shout out to everyone that has helped us this spring. Broadcasters, Paul Frischner, Luke West-Poley. As Maxey puts Hara down on strikes. It's a quick top half of the third. More to those thank yous when we come back. You're watching Love and Honor Live.
Fans, the Red
Bottom of the third here at McKee Field at Hayden Park. Cooper Weiss, Rylan Zaborowski, David Novak due up for the RedHawks here in third. Got to start chipping away at that 7-run lead that Akron currently holds. As Miami is already taken the series, they're looking to get the sweep, but they're going to have to come back from quite the deficit as Weiss grounds out to Nick Arrivo for the first out.
number 15, first baseman Rylan Zaborowski.
So in steps Zabo. Zabo had a single his first time through the left side of the infield. So I was giving thank yous out to everyone that has helped on Love and Honor Live this spring. I mentioned Paul Fritzner, Luke West-Poley. Jeff Kim got a broadcast. Justin Thomas helped a few times. I think that's all the broadcasters we used. Used a slew of producers. Trace Fowler, Sean Spurlock, of course, Casey McAllister. Sean Dixon even came out a time or two. So thank you to the whole Chatterbox crew for making this work as Zaborowski fouls one straight back. The infield playing with their heels on the outfield section of the turf. And rightfully so, as Zaborowski hits the ball hard. He's already peppered a couple towards the third base dugout. So way out in front of the pitches that Joe Roth is offering. See what he comes with here on the 2-2. Braden Cavey playing over the middle part of the field, and Zaborowski goes down swinging. Slider at the top of the zone. Zaborowski going to put the bat on the ball, and there's two away. So two away here in the bottom half of the third. Sky towards the left field wall and losing it in the sun, but eventually making the play is Sammy Seeker. David Novak almost leaves the yard, but it hangs up just long enough. And it's a 1-2-3 here in the bottom half of the third. Stay tuned. You're watching Love and Honor Live. One, two, three, two up for the Zips here in the top half of inning number 4. I'm Ray Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live. Chase Ferguson brought up a good point in the chat, and also thank you to the Miami University Athletic Support Staff. Chase was more than accommodating. Really, Miami University has been fantastic. Everyone we worked with, just a big thank you there. When you lose your wallets, there's no one you'd rather find it than Chase Ferguson. So Ian Pennington steps to the plate. Hits one weakly down the right field line. It's tailing foul. It'll go out of play. It's 1-1. Maxey, a breezy third inning. trying to continue that as this is flared right beyond the reach of Evan Applewick. So this was hit just beyond the reach of the glove of the third baseman, Applewick. He backtracked and actually hit in the brown turf. Spun away from Cooper Weiss, and you won't get many weaker hit singles than what you saw right there. But in the score sheet, it's all the same. So put the speedy Pennington on first. Jack Firestone steps in, working on an over 2, has already struck out twice in the ball game. Maxey checks on Pennington, who's got a short lead over at first base. Changeup works away from the left-handed hitting Firestone, but still finds the strike zone. And Maxey's ahead in the count. It's 0-2. Checking on the runner, Pennington. Maxey out of the pen. He's already thrown 36 pitches. They're going to need him to go quite a ways. He's already thrown 2 innings in relief. Like to get them to at least the middle portion of the ball game, as Firestone has come up for the 3rd time and has been sent packing for the 3rd time.
Zips designated hitter, Jack Boyce.
Jack Boyce steps in. Walked, came around and scored back in inning number 2. Also grounded out to Dylan Baker, and boy, would Maxey like to repeat that. First pitch to Poist, misses on the outside. The 1-0 to Poist, and they are shifted over to the right side of the field. Applewick far off of the third base line. Cooper Weiss patrolling near the middle of the field. Dylan Baker a few steps to the right of where he typically plays. Pennington's running. Novak's throw down to second, not in time. Good catch and throw from David Novak, but Ian Pennington is just too quick. A perfect 17 for 17 on stolen bases this season. And there's a runner in scoring position. Miami will go to Muncie, Indiana next week to take on Ball State. That'll conclude their Mid-American Conference schedule. Congratulations to the softball team, as they'll be hosting the MAC tournament for another year. 4 straight regular season titles for the softball team. Maxey walks Poist. There's runners on first and second and 1 away. Didn't always look like they were going to take the regular season. A sweep at home against Northern Illinois back in March made the outlook look bleak for a second there for the girls, but they stormed back and won the MAC again. Behind the bats of Carly Spade, Allie Cummins, and the arm of Bree Pratt. Looking to win the tournament and make another run at the regional. Lace down the line. Look out for all the pitchers in the bullpen. 1-2, 2 runners on, 1 away. Maxey comes set. And they're looking at the runner in Ian Pennington. Besides the second inning, or the top half of the second inning rather, every inning has gone through pretty breezily for both teams. Haven't been a whole lot of long at-bats. As Maxey freezes Nicarivo. Great pitch there from the right-hander. And a much-needed second out.
Left fielder, Sam Seeker.
So in steps Sam Seeker. He's 1 for 2. Has popped up in the infield, a single back in the second. That was one of 2 hits back in that second inning where Akron scored 7 runs. Tough play for Dylan Baker. Only plays at second. What a play. The backhand by Baker and the flip over to Cooper Weiss just in time, beating out the speedy Poist out at second. And a couple of strikeouts and a great defensive web gem get Miami out of trouble here in the 4th. We head to the bottom. It's still 7-0. All right, now it's time for the RedHawks to start chipping away. It's the bottom of the 4th, 7-0. They've got Dylan Baker, Evan Applewick, and Nate Stone due up here in this half of the inning. Baker with a great defensive play to hold Akron off the scoreboard, at least for another half inning. And now has a chance to reach a board with the stick. Hi, I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the stream. Comment, let us know how you're doing. If you're a fan of sports content local to Cincinnati, Ohio, take a gander around the channel as Hara makes a nice play in the hole to retire Dylan Baker. And in steps Evan Applewick.
Evan Applewick.
Yeah, Monday through Friday, Chatterbox flagship program Off the Bench with Thom Brennaman. Goes live from 10 Eastern to noon. Thom hosts the show. My producer to my left, Casey McAllister, produces it. As does Paul Fritchner. If you watched yesterday's stream, he was the broadcaster. They do a nice job on that show. Cincinnati Reds fan, invite you to check out Chatterbox Reds, hosted by Nick Kirby and Trace Fowler. They go live following every Cincinnati Reds game this year. And yes, even the ones out on the West Coast. So 1-2 count here to Evan Applewick. Called strike 3, so says Jeff Spisak. And there's 2 away here in the 4th. Second time that Evan Applewhite has gone down looking. And you'll see Nate Stone. And left side of the field, right side of the field, Braden Cavey, Kid O'Hara. Sprinting around the diamond, trying to get in position. Nate Stone is a pull-heavy hitter. And you'll see Cavey playing in shallow right field. Hara pretty much right up the middle. I wonder if college baseball is going to follow suit in banning the shift. Only a month and some change into the MLB season, and I think that it is a near unanimous that the changes are for the better. Pitch clock certainly has sped up the game. The bigger bags has allowed for more offense, more stolen bases, and the shift ban has allowed at least left-handers to use the right side of the field again. Seems like it's only a matter of time. I wonder if the extra innings rule will ever make its way down to college and youth baseball as Stone goes down on strikes. Strong inning for Roth here in the bottom half of the 4th. We head to inning number 5 on Love and Honor Live.
Miami University Athletics would like to once again thank Zips batter, top of the 5th inning. First baseman
McKee Field at Hayden Park. Beautiful Sunday afternoon game 3 between the Zips and the RedHawks. Akron on top 7-0. They scored all 7 runs in the top of the 2nd inning. Other than that, every half inning has nothing but a goose egg to show for it. 4 hits for Akron to this point in the ball game, 2 for Miami. Joe Roth has been fantastic for the Zips. This is his 2nd outing of the series. He came in relief on Friday, and now he's getting the start here in Game 3. And what a game Game 1 was. Back and forth. Miami took a big lead, lost it in the top of the 8th inning, allowing 5 runs. And then come back, take the lead in the bottom half of the 8th, just to surrender it once again in the top as Maxey retires. Max Bowman on strikes.
the second baseman.
Yeah, Miami surrendered the lead there in the top half of the 9th inning, and Akron took the lead for the first time in that entire ball game. They took a 2-run lead, and what do you know? The RedHawks come back from down a couple runs and win the ball game Yesterday's game was all RedHawks. As of right now, Game 3 is all Zips. Chopped foul for Cavey. Akron already with 17 wins this season. They won just 15 games last year. Back-to-back punch-outs here in the 5th for Maxey.
Catcher Andrew Horvath.
7 strikeouts for Zach Maxey. And it's Horvath stepping in, and right away, Maxey gets out in front of the starting catcher. And it's the most wins for Akron since they restarted the program. Kevin Donnelly in his first season as the head coach. Also on the coaching staff, Blair Everhart and Craig Prince. 2-2 is the count to Horvath. Chopped over towards Cooper Weiss. He moves to his right, has to throw it quickly across the diamond. He does just that to stretch from Zaborowski. And it's a 1-2-3 top half of the 5th. We head to the bottom. Miami's going to need to start chipping away when you're watching Love and Honor Live. Zach McDonald to lead off for the RedHawks here on the bottom of the 5th. We're about midway through this one. Akron has a 7-0 lead. Hi, I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Chatterbox Sports, Love and Honor Live to be exact. McDonald, Tommy Harrison back to the top of the order. Miami threatened to score 2 different times in the ball game in the first inning and in the second, but have been held quiet the last 2 times to the plate. Joe Roth seems to be getting stronger as the game progresses. One of the true testaments of a good pitcher. Popped down the right field line. Going to be a tough play for Firestone. He works it and catches it right there in foul territory, about a step into foul territory. And McDonald is retired.
Designated hitter, Tommy
to
Harrison.
begin the 5th inning. So now it's Tommy Harrison. He walked his last time, worked a really nice at-bat. Mentioned in the last half inning as Akron briefly didn't have a baseball team. 2015 they had a program, then came back just a few years ago as Harrison lines out to center field. They're not the only program in the Mid-American Conference to
Left fielder, Brian.
suffer the axe, at least for a short period of time. Bowling Green State University back in 2020, amongst all the things shutting down due to COVID, EGSU shut down their baseball program before alumni raised enough money to bring it back. Zap 0 for 1. And both Akron and Bowling Green State University trying to find their footing as a baseball program. Zap skies one into shallow right field. Jack Firestone coming in, calling off Cavey, and loses it. Firestone came in like a bat out of you-know-where, sprinting in, calls off Cavey, and then the ball lands behind him. Brian Zapp got tripped up by Hara rounding second. I don't think he would have gone to third regardless.
Now the shortstop.
But it was worth asking if there was a bit of runner's interference or fielder's interference. Regardless, the error by Firestone puts a runner on second base with one of the best bats in the lineup, Cooper Weiss, at the plate. Zapp up and running. He'll take third. The first run for Miami, 90 feet away, but it's going to take a 2-out base knock from Weiss to bring Zapp in. Roth should have been out of the inning. See if Miami makes the most of that mistake, or if Roth, who has been very strong as of late, can get out of trouble. Before that error, he retired 9 straight batters. Weiss flares one out to right field. Firestone has a chance to make up for the last play, and he does. So Miami doesn't make the most of the error from Akron. We head to inning number 6. It's still 7-0. Maxey back out in relief. Top of the 6th inning, 9-1-2 due up for Akron. Kaito Hara. Ian Pennington, Jack Firestone due up for the Zips. We're through 5. Akron has a 7-run lead. Let's quickly recap the ball game. Akron scored all 7 runs in the 2nd inning off of just 2 hits. Hudson Leach, who came out throwing darts in the 1st inning, came out in the 2nd and seemingly lost it. Wild pitches, 5 walks, couldn't find the strike zone, and then Maxey came in, did an admirable job out of the pen. And that inning, he's been very strong ever since, but did give up a couple of runs. Miami has had runners in scoring position in 3 different half innings, but no runs to show for it. Other than that 2nd inning, Akron has only had 2 base runners. Hara pops one in the right center field. McDonald calling off Nate Stone and puts the squeeze on for the 1st out.
Number 16, Ian Pennington.
Ian Pennington, who's choking up on the bat. 2 base hits already in the ball game. Maxey at 66 pitches out of the pen. 7 strikeouts. They're 4 in a 3rd inning. The 1-1 from Maxey. Goes overhead in the windup. You don't see many pitchers still do that. Was the norm a couple decades ago. Now the pitchers are few and far between that still do that. Pennington rips one down the right field line. This will be extra bases for the leadoff hitter. Very quick. He takes a turn around second. He's heading for 3rd. The relay not in time. And it's a 1-out triple for Ian Pennington. What a ball game for the center fielder. His 3rd hit. Only the 5th hit in the ball game for Akron. 3 have come off the bat of Ian Pennington. And if there's any guy in the Zips lineup that could use a base knock, it's Jack Firestone who steps in. Firestone already with the hat trick. As Maxey gets ahead. Maxey has retired Pennington on strikes twice. Wind quietly blowing out to center field. Firestone has left the yard 15 times this year.
But yeah, he don't. Like, I remember when he told my mama to quit calling me.
The 2-1. Firestone. This is going to be a play at the plate. The flip from Novak, not in time. Pennington slides in safe. Maxey did slap the tag on Pennington. Great instincts there by the center fielder. That ball squirted away from Novak. And Pennington darted for home. It's now an 8-0 lead for Akron. And Jack Firestone strikes out for the 4th time in the ballgame.
Number 30, Jack Boyce.
Poised. 0 for 1, has walked twice. Not your prototypical 3-hole. Poised, the designated hitter today. Stands at only 5'10" and 160 pounds. Native of Hoover, Alabama. The 2-0 misses, low and in. Poised, a junior. Trying to reach a board for the 3rd time in the ball game, and he does just that. 3rd time that Poised has been walked. So Firestone has struck out 4 times, then immediately following, Jack Poist has walked 3 times. So through 8 plate appearances between Akron's 2 and 3 hole, the ball has only been put in play once. Poist running here. Novak's throw down to second, not in time. Dylan Baker double taps on the tag. But Poist stays on, and now he's in scoring position. Poist 14th stolen base of the season. And now Arroyo has a chance to make it a 9-0 ball game if he could find the outfield grass. They check on Poist. Arroyo 1 for 2, struck out looking his last time. Maxey froze Arroyo with the changeup. Arroyo with 13 RBIs this season. Arroyo 12 extra base hits and 157 at-bats. A slugging percentage at .382. But he doesn't need to find the gap, he just needs to put it in the outfield. Popped foul here at Hayden Park. The 2-2. Bounces in the turf. Novak keeps it in front of him. Back-to-back walks put runners on first and second, and Sammy Seeker comes to the plate. First time that Maxey has faced some trouble on the mound, well, ever since he got out of the second inning. But in innings that he has started, this is the first time he's really run into any interference. Seeker sends one deep out to right field. Nate Stone is on the chase. This has a chance. It rattles off the base of the wall. 2 runs will score. Seeker's heading to third. It's a 2 RBI triple. It hit off the base of the wall right out in right center field where it says 384. Stone couldn't get there in time. Akron now has a double-digit lead.
Number 6.
It is worth noting here in Game 3 of conference games, there is a 10-run rule in effect after 7. So all this has happened with 2 outs. Back-to-back walks. And both Poist and Arroyo brought in to score on the triple from Seeker. Seeker's 3rd triple of the season. This is popped up in the infield. Cooper Weiss over, calling off Dylan Baker, and makes the play. But Akron plates 3 more runs. They've got a double-digit lead. We head to the bottom of the 6th on 11 Honor Live.
Tracy.
3-4-5, 2 up for Miami here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they're going to need to start chipping away at this 10-run lead. As Zaborowski offers at the first pitch, he sees and pops one sky high into center field. Ian Pennington in to make the play. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Catcher, David Novak.
Roth still out there. 71 pitches. Has been very efficient through the first 5 innings. Scoreless baseball. Novak 0 for 2. Almost left the yard his last time up. Just a few feet shy. As he swings at the second pitch of the inning, but dribbles it foul. The 0-1 from Roth. Foul tipped, oh no. Horvath gave the thumbs up. As a former catcher, just gave me PTSD. Those aren't fun. 0-2's the count. And Novak can relate as he's a catcher as well. So Horvath's all right. Roth gets the sign. 2 hopper out to Hara. Throw across the diamond. Big stretch by Thom Bowman. And there's 2 away.
Second baseman, Dylan Baker.
So now it's Dylan Baker. Danny Hayden looking into the bullpen. I wonder if we're going to see a new arm in the 7th from Miami. One-oh's in there for a called strike. Roth has just allowed 2 hits, 1 walk. He struck out 5, so he's allowed just 4 base runners in the ball game. Mark that 5. Forgot about the hit by pitch. He's allowed 5 base runners in the whole ball game, and 4 came in the first 2 frames. In fact, that Roth has held Miami hitless, dating all the way back to Zach McDonald's single in the 2nd inning. Since then, the only base runner to reach a board was Brian Zapp on that air last inning. The 2-2 from Roth. This is sent for a ride out to left field. It's got a chance, and it'll leave the yard. Dylan Baker, a solo home run, puts the RedHawks on the board. And the score is now 10-1. Home run number 5 on the season for Dylan Baker. And now it's Evan Applewick. This has a chance out to left center field. Back-to-back jacks. It's down 10-2. First it was Dylan Baker. Right there was Evan Applewick. It's a 10-2 ball game.
Right fielder Nate Stone.
So after going on about how sharp Roth has been, going over 3 innings without giving up a hit, he then gave up back-to-back home runs to Dylan Baker and Evan Applewick. There is an arm that has been periodically throwing in Akron's bullpen. They're in no rush with an 8-run lead. And Stone quickly gets behind 0-2. Spisak said that one missed. Or the trackman was well outside. The count is 1-2. Roth has gotten that call today. Maxey has as well. But after the ball misses low and in, Stone evens up the count at 2s. Counts full. The payoff pitch from Roth. Stone fouls it towards Akron's dugout, and we're doing it again. Infield shifted over to the right side. Cavey playing with his feet firmly planted in the outfield. Stone on a line out to right field. This will fall in front of Firestone. So back-to-back home runs, and now Stone with a single keeps Miami pushing the envelope against the Zips. And this will be it. At least it looks like it will be. No arm was actively throwing in Akron's bullpen as assistant coach Craig Prince goes out there to talk to Roth. So Zach McDonald will step up. they'll leave Roth in there. Joe Roth, 88 pitches on the day. This is his second outing of the series. McDonald, 1 for 2. A single back in the second inning. He's looking to just keep the inning rolling. First pitch swinging as he pops one up into left field, and that'll be the end of the 6th. But Miami gets on the scoreboard. Back-to-back home runs from Dylan Baker and Evan Applewick, make it an 8-run ball game. We head to the 7th. It's 10-2. To the top of the 7th we go. It's 10-2. Patrick Mastrian, the 4th. And to relieve Zach Maxey. Mastrian, 25 2/3 innings pitched this year, 35 strikeouts. He's got an ERA up over 8, 8.06. It's the end of the ball game for Zach Maxey. He went 5 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, struck out 8. Threw 90 pitches in relief of Hudson Leach. Braden Cavey, swings at the first pitch from Mastrian, the 4th, and will fly out to Zach McDonald, who had to run a long way. But a nice job by Mastrian coming in and retiring the first batter he faces.
Andrew Horvath.
Andrew Horvath steps in. Working on an 0 for 2. And Mastrian gets ahead in the count. A check swing. Sends it over towards Akron's dugout. And Mastrian is ahead. It's 0-2. Skied over towards the first base dugout. Goes well out of play. And we'll do it at 0-2 once more. A nice job by Horvath staying alive.
I thought CJ was a senior last year, man. We could have had CJ last year. I told y'all no. I thought he was a senior last year.
We'll see if that's the end of the rope for Joe Roth.
Yeah, Keelan, the older dude.
Other than the 2 home runs that he's given up, has been fairly sharp.
I like him better. But Keelan,
Only allowed 5 hits, 3 came in the last half inning. So starting to see some cracks in the armor of Roth. Still at 90 pitches, and it is his second outing of the series. So we'll see if that's it. The 1-2. Not a called strike 3, just off the edge. And ripped into left field for a base hit. Horvath fouled off a slew of pitches from Mastrian.
Number 3.
Eventually got a pitch he liked and sent it out to left field. It's a nice at-bat by the starting catcher for the Zips. Kaido Hara. One on, one away. Horvath running on the pitch, stepping on the second base bag and flips it over to first for the double play. And a bit of confusion, but that does end the inning. Nice job by Dylan Baker, who was working towards the bag on the steal. Just hit right there. He stepped on it, threw it over to Zaborowski. And the 1-2-3, top half of the 7th. It's 10-2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's stretch time out here at McKee Field. Middle of the 7th here in Oxford, Ohio. McKee Field at Hayden Park. 10-2 is our score. Miami running out of time, and Tommy Harrison lines one down the right field line. This is going to be extra bases, and when you're down 8 runs, a leadoff double certainly helps the cause. So Harrison puts a nice swing on a ball. And we're back to the top of the order. So Roth did come back out. And there is an arm actively getting loose in Akron's bullpen. So Zaps reached a board twice now. Was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. His last time up, flared one out to right field that Jack Firestone was unable to make the play on. Now Zapp's looking for his first hit. 0-2.
Let's go, Joe.
Skied out into shallow right center field. 4 Zips converge on the ball, but Pennington calls off the infielders and Jack Firestone and makes the play for the first out. So now it's Cooper Weiss, who also is looking for his first hit of the ball game. We'll get a quick pep talk from Danny Hayden. Weiss currently working on a 15-game hit streak that is in trouble. As he's first pitch swinging, fouls one back. Already with 3 hits in the series. Went 2 for 5 yesterday, 1 for 6 in game 1. They have Weiss 0 for 2. As this bounces and heads to the backstop. So off the face mask of Horvath. And now a ground ball or pop-up should score Tommy Harrison. Miss it on the outside, and Weiss is ahead in the count. Roth comes set. Called strike 2. And Weiss goes down on strikes. Roth with a nice changeup that got the shortstop to swing over top of. And now that 15-game hit streak is in danger. Might get one more shot at it. But now we'll see Rylan Zaborowski. Zabo had 3 hits in game 1, went 0 for yesterday. As this is skied in foul territory, Bowman over to make the play. And they put a runner to third base with less than 2 outs, and their 2 best hitters on the team coming to the plate. But the RedHawks unable to bring in Tommy Harrison. We head to the top of the 8th, still 10-2. To the top of the 8th we go. It's 10-2. Mastrian back out for another inning of work. He'll face off against the top of Akron's lineup. Ian Pennington hit a triple his last time, came around and scored.
Number 16, Ian Pennington.
Akron with an 8-run lead. We brought it up earlier in the broadcast. We'll bring it up again. Just the fact that there is a 10-run rule in these third games of the series. So just something to keep your eye on if Akron puts together a little bit of a rally here in the top half of the 8th inning. Regardless, Miami's going to need to start hitting better if they want to get back into this one. Zap works over towards the left field line, and he's underneath it for the first out. So now we'll see Jack Firestone. And Firestone is an 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Miami pitching staff has been able to give Firestone the golden sombrero. Now they're looking to see if they can make it platinum. Two-0 here to the right fielder from Akron. Fouled back. And it's 2-2. And with the second strike, Evan Applewick race over to the right side of the field to enact the shift. And here's the 2-2. Two-hopper out to Evan Applewick. Firestone racing down the line, but the throw is in time. What about that? With 2 strikes, Evan Applewick shifts over to the center of the field from third base, and Firestone hits right into that shift. But the speed of Firestone almost made that play very exciting. But all the same, there's 2 away. So in the scorebook, that looks like a routine 5-3. But if he would have hit that ball just a pitch earlier, would have been a base hit. And still almost beat it out, regardless of hitting it right towards Evan Applewick. Boyce steps in. He's 0 for 1, has walked 3 times, has scored twice. Oh! Look out. As that was almost a scary situation. A line drive headed directly for Miami's dugout. Luckily, went over top of their heads. And no one was hurt in the process. 0-2. Patrick Mastery in the 4th and on his 2nd inning of work. One strike away from a clean 8th. Tries the slider, misses low. The count is full. As this hit out to left center field, going to be a tough play. McDonald converging over into the gap, and he'll have it for the 3rd and final outs. Now we head to the bottom of the 8th, still 10-2 on the scoreboard. (10-2) is our score here at McKee Field at Hayden Park. Hi, I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. If you haven't already, this is the last time I'm going to plug it here this season. Please subscribe to the channel, like the stream. It helps it get in the algorithm and get some more eyeballs. 4-5-6 due up for Miami here as they've got the tall task of coming back down from down 8 runs. New arm on the bump for the Zips. It's, yes sir, Cahook. We saw him Friday evening. And we're seeing him again here on Sunday afternoon. Cahook comes in with a 4.15 ERA. And Novak's going to pop one up into shallow right center field. KV working on. He's underneath it for the first out.
Second baseman, Dylan Baker.
Dylan Baker steps in. He left the yard his last time. And those are the only 2 runs on the scoreboard for Miami. Back-to-back solo jacks from Dylan Baker and Evan Applewick. Really, both offenses have been held very quiet, and you might be asking yourself, how has Akron's offense been held quiet when they have scored 10 runs? Well, it's pretty simple. Back in that second inning, when they scored 7, there were 6 free passes. Hudson Leach walked the entire bottom half of Akron's lineup, and they made the most of it. A pair of timely hits. Some wild pitches. Done a nice job. Has Dylan Baker gone deep again, out to deep center field, and back against the wall is Ian Pennington, who makes a nice grab. And what a game from Ian Pennington. Catches that as he runs against the center field wall.
Evan Appleware.
3 hits at the plates. Some great base running. Stole home, stole second. And there's 2 away for now, Evan Applewick. Applewick 1 for 3. He has yet to put the ball in the field of play. Has struck out twice, and as we mentioned earlier, hit a home run his last time. He skies one, shallow left field. Hara is calling for the ball. He wants it, he has it. Breezy, 1-2-3, bottom half of the 8th. We head to the final frame, 10-2.
The RedHawks score no run.
Top of the 9th here in Oxford, Ohio. Connor Preissel towing the rubber for the RedHawks here in the final frame. Preissel on the season. This is his 11th appearance. He's got a 6.23 ERA, 17 in the 3rd innings pitched, 17 strikeouts. He's also walked 13. I'm Mouse here watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. And that closes the book on Patrick Mastrian IV. He threw 2 innings in relief. Did not have a strikeout, allowed only 1 hit. That was the only base runner he allowed. Faced the minimum in those 2 innings as he got a double play to get out of it.
The 9th inning, number 45, Nick Arrivo.
So Preissel, the 4th pitcher, following Hudson Leach, Zach Maxey, and Patrick Mastrian the 4th. He'll face off against the cleanup hitter of Akron, Nick Arrivo. Arrivo, 1 for 2. A base hit, a strikeout, has walked and scored twice. Preissel, a freshman from Sagamore Hills, Ohio, 6'2", 225. Has gotten some work midweek in the past previous 2 weeks. 2 1/3 innings pitch against Purdue last midweek game, and then threw 4 1/3 against Southern Indiana. After struggling to begin the year, he's gone 3 consecutive outings without giving up a run. The 1-2 to Arrivo. Check swing. They don't check. They do eventually, and they say no. Arrivo did not come around. So the count's 2-2. Foul, out of play. Into the pine trees that guard Hayden Park. Does feel like there's a bit of privacy just with the coniferous trees that surround the field. Into the right center field gap. Arrivo's got a base knock. He takes a hard turn around first. He'll stay put. It's a leadoff single.
Number 9, Sam Seeker.
Sam Seeker steps in. His last trip up, tripled off the wall. Now Preisel's going to be looking to see if he can get a ground ball double play. Yeah, Seeker played at home 2 runs back in the 6th inning. Chopped over to Evan Applewick. Here's a chance for the double play. Instead, they just go to first. Couldn't get out of his glove quick enough, and Arrivo was quick to get to second. But it's a 5-3 put out, and there's 1 away and a runner in scoring position.
Number 6, Max Bowman.
First pitch to Bowman's in there for a called strike. Bowman working on an 0 for 3. He walked, came around, and scored back in that 7-run second. Chopped in front of home plate. Preisel ahead on Bowman, 1-2. Bowman, the starting first baseman today. He's had some nice stretches over there. Akron looking for some insurance, though. They've got an 8-run cushion to work with as Bowman goes down on strikes.
21, Braden Cavey.
Braden Cavey. Katie, too, is working on an 0 for 3. So after that second, we talked about that second inning at great length already, where there was 4 consecutive walks to the bottom half of the order as Cavey sends one over towards the first base dugout. You take away that second inning, and the bottom half of Akron's order is a combined 1 for 13. As Cavey falls behind 1-2. Preisel 1 strike away from hanging a 0 here in the top of the 9th. This is sent out to center field. McDonald on a run makes a nice snag. Didn't know if he was going to get there in time. He does, and that prevents a run from scoring. It's 10-2. We head to the bottom of the 9th here on Love and Honor Live. All comes down to this. It's the bottom of the ninth. Miami needs to put up an 8 spot to continue the game. They won games 1 and 2. In danger of dropping game 3. They're looking to take the sweep, but they're going to need a historic comeback to pull that one off. Nate Stone due up, facing off against Cahook, who's out for another inning of work. Quickly works 1-1. I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor live here on Chatterbox Sports. And Stone hits a one-hopper into the shift, and Cavey makes a nice play. Four to 3 putout puts 1 out on the board. And now we'll see Zach McDonald. Start time of this one was 1:04. Opened up the day with a lot of sunshine, which is surprising based off of just the weather that transpired overnight, cutting out power to several regions, several areas here in the region, I should say. McDonald chops one over to third on the run. The throw from Arrivo in time. So 2 ground outs, and Tommy Harrison steps up.
Tommy Harrison.
Final home game of the season for Miami. So this could be the last at-bat at McKee Field this spring for the RedHawks. Harrison chops one over to Cavey, the throw over to Bowman, and that's the ball game. A 4-3 putouts. The final score is 10-2. Joe Roth will get the win. Hudson Leach will get the loss. Cahook did a nice job out of the pen. And the 7-run second inning proved to just be too tall to overcome for Miami. They never really got the sticks going. But the final time of this game is 2 hours and 20 minutes. And for one last time, I want to thank everyone that is tuned in this spring to catch either the Miami RedHawks baseball team or the Miami RedHawks softball team play here on Chatterbox Sports. It was a blast calling the games for all of our producers, Casey McAllister, Sean Dixon, Sean Spurlock, Justin Thomas, broadcasters, Paul Frischner, Luke West-Poley. And for Chatterbox in general, we thank you for tuning in. And thank you to Miami Athletics for giving us the opportunity. We hope to extend this partnership into next year. But we'll catch you around some other time. 10-2 the final. Miami takes the series. Akron takes game 3. We'll see you some other time.